deliver at least a draw. Let's see if Hikaru delivers a first move here within less than 2 minutes. Here we go. He plays 1e4, and let's see what Shuyi will put in front of Mr. Nakamura.
Yeah, so Nakamura won with black pieces last round. So as the board won, it's always a nice feeling to start off with a win with the black pieces. Now you're coming in, and the interesting experience as a board one is that every single match you play, every single game you play, gets harder and harder. That's just how it works. Your opponents get tougher and tougher. So Nakamura definitely playing a bit of an offbeat line here, Daniel, when it comes to the Petrov. Knight takes e5, and then knight back to e3. What do you make of this?
And now forward it goes to f4, creating the obvious threat of knight c5. So don't fall asleep and play knight c6 if you're playing with the black pieces. I'm pretty sure black typically drops the knight back to f6, leading to a forced queen trade. White can't avoid the queen trade, so Hikaru kind of making his bets that he will be able to outplay black in a kind of a long, drawn-out endgame. But I would even hesitate to call the ensuing position an endgame I'm on, because we still have all of the other pieces on the board. So definitely still plenty of room for tactics, and a lot of the middle game rules do apply, even with a pair of queens off the board.
Yeah, absolutely. c6 is the chosen move to stop knight d5. I'm more familiar with your move knight back to f6, but it looks like Shuyi wanted to, I guess, leave a little bit more of something in the position, right? Keep some pieces on the board, knight in the middle, but I mean, Nak is not having any of that. He says, okay, f3, you're not going to play knight f6, I'm going to force it.
Get off and get out of e4. And the other important thing is that after knight f6, that knight is going to be fully restricted by the f1. So maybe it's worth for Shuyi to bring the knight back to d6 in order potentially to be able to reroute it to f5. No, he does go knight f6, but these subtle considerations, Amon, are what these types of positions are all about. You're not going to get a checkmating attack. Actually scratch all of that. As Hikaru said, you had your chance to trade queens. You didn't exploit it, and now I'm going to make you pay for it.
Yeah, he wants the queens on the board all of a sudden, and bishop on f1, I mean, eventually, both sides, bishop f1 and bishop f8, you're going to either, have to move the queens, or we're going to see some strange fianchettos coming out from both sides. This is just such an atypical opening. When you think about, how do you develop, where your pieces go, what pawns do you push early on? This is the worst game to show beginners.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, we don't even understand why these moves are being played. Okay, that I do understand. And Hikaru, without any hesitation, he castles queenside. I think he's going to go after black's king as quickly as he can. Another thing that should be pointed out, black might and I think probably will castle queenside himself, but that pawn on c6, the king becomes a bit of a liability. There's no question that if both sides castle queenside, I would rate white's attacking chances as somewhat superior. I like Hikaru's position here. Bishop d3, rook e1. He's just faster to the center.
Definitely. Yeah, black's pieces, I mean, if you're playing bishop d3, bishop takes on d3, the knight can come back and capture. Knight on d3 is a great piece, hitting the c5, e5 squares, and you're drawing the arrows just as fast as the pieces are actually going to show up there. Rook h1 to e1 is super frustrating to deal with, because if you want to get your king out of the way, kingside castle before, devastation hits with rook h1 to e1.
That's the drawback of fianchettoing. It just takes so long. And bishop d3 is on the board. Hikaru, I think, already smells blood in the early going. And that queen on e7 could end up bleeding after white's rook gets over to e1. You don't have the d6 square because of bishop f4. I think Shuyi already has major problems to solve right into the opening. h5, I think, was a little bit too cavalier. It was a cool-looking move and an interesting opening, but when the smoke clears, there's no question that Hikaru has a clear advantage. This could be a quick knockout win if Shuyi isn't ultra precise in the next couple of moves. Well, just must feel so reassuring to know that you've got Hikaru on your team, and when he's got a winning position, you can breathe easier with Hikaru having a winning position than just about anybody else.
Yeah, literally. I mean, just like Hikaru Magnus, obviously on a team is a super nice thing. Actually, there's something, and yeah, we do see the final move there and a resignation. My chat doesn't see it just yet, but I think the one of the most impressive things that we've done thus far. You guys might not know this, but we had to do a lot of study on these players. I had no idea who Zhu Yi was, and he's just like an uber solid 25, 40, FIDE guy. Last week, he had no problem holding Grisha, no problem holding MVL. He, doesn't lose. And it's really reassuring that our big dogs just gave him 2 losses because that's like a match strategy. I mean, the guy was taking half points off everybody last week, and here we have Hikaru and Fedoseev, super dominant display. This guy played the Petrov. Hikaru said, you want to play the Petrov? Welcome to the 2700 club, and gave him, the Super GM treatment, and that's what you need to win these matches. Yeah, I mean, it's ridiculous. Hikaru spent 2.5 minutes, and he beat a guy that I would probably not beat 10% of the time. So, it's unbelievably impressive.
He dealt with his first loss since 2003, and Hikaru has just been a complete buzzsaw, as he always is. Well, Levy, we know that you're streaming on your own channel, so we will let you get back and chill, watch your games in peace. So, Levy, always a pleasure to have you on. Good luck to the Gotham Knights, especially if they face the Canada Chess Bros.
Yeah, we will definitely need it. That's definitely the matchup that people want to see. Thanks, guys. Have a good rest of your commentary.
All right, see ya.